Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Relatively newer games have been added in the franchise almost a year ago, yet still have one of the best shiny odds throughout all the games in the franchise. With things like overworld shinies, sandwiches, outbreaks, and terror raids, this game is pretty much a shiny hunter's dream. And so for a hardcore shiny hunter like me, this poses the question, will I be able to beat the game with only shinies, no shiny charm, no sandwiches, or will I succumb to the shiny hunting madness and give up on the game? And of course, I'm going to set some rules for myself so I can at least make this a little bit harder and a little bit easier as well. One of the main rules obviously being that I can't go online and farm Urban Mystica raids. Other than that, obviously I cannot also transfer over shinies from another game to be able to get through the game, and also I'm going to allow myself to use my starter to be able to get through the pregame. And so without further ado, if you will join me on this journey, we're going to find out if I can beat Pokemon Scarlet with shinies only. As per usual in the game, we start off by getting our character, naming it, choosing our hairstyle, and doing whatever else we want with it. After that, we begin the game upstairs in our room. We go to meet our mom, who says that we have to stay at the house for a little bit longer until something from the academy arrives. And just like that, perfect timing, the doorbell rings and we're met by the director. We then go back upstairs so that we can go grab our stuff and begin our adventure with the academy. After taking a step outside, the director poses us with the question of what starter we want. He gives us the choices of Sprigatito, Fuecoco, or Quaxley. After taking a quick walk down the path to Momona's house, we finally get to choose our starter. I went ahead and chose Fuecoco and named him Nomster. After that, it's just blah blah blah, more tutorial and story stuff. We get taught how to catch a Pokemon, we meet a dragon that fell out of the sky from Area 0, and we meet an emo dude who hates his mother. But let's go ahead and get into the stuff that you're actually here for. But really quick, I do want to ask if you can go ahead and like and subscribe and make sure to turn on notifications for my channel. I've started editing my videos more and putting more effort into stuff instead of just uploading daily, and I do need the support from it. I also do go live here, so you can also check if I'm either shiny hunting, editing a video, or playing some other type of game, usually horror games. But for the last time, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. I was originally going to go for something like Cloth, Knockley, Shinx, anything that might spawn in that area, but I couldn't get an outbreak for any of them, and they always kept on spawning inaccurately. Whenever I say inaccurately, I don't mean that they weren't spawning properly, it just wasn't that they were spawning often enough. I was getting things like Dunsparce or anything that wasn't going to really be useful for the run. Since I couldn't find anything good to start off with, I decided that I was going to go do some terror raids by myself. I was hoping that I could get some XP candies and maybe even some feathers so I can boost my stats, and luckily enough for me, I got exactly what I needed. I managed to find a large XP candy while wandering around the beach area. That was just what I needed so that I could do some 2-star raids. After a little bit of time resetting and running around aimlessly, I decided that I was going to go for a Squawkabilly outbreak. Now don't get me wrong, I of all people understand that shiny hunting can take a while, especially if you're doing something like Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl, where you can get up to 30,000 resets. But this Squawkabilly alone took anywhere between 8 to 10 hours. Now I know that's a little bit of a smaller time than other people that have attempted this challenge would have, but this was a humongous amount of time for me. But luckily enough for me, I was able to get the exact one that I wanted, as Squawkabilly can have 4 different colors. Wait, is that it? Oh my god, that's it! Oh my god! 3 hours and 30 minutes alone on everything being paused. The one that I wanted was the yellow ones, just so that I can name it Chica. After catching an Ultra Ball, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and start some of the story. Starting off with Cloth, who was a little hard to beat in his first phase, but after beating that, we managed to get to the second phase and beat him with Arven. Then I moved on to the Bug Gym, which was easy enough to beat by just spamming one move. After that, I moved on to the Grass Gym, which I was a little bit worried about as Sudowoodo appears in that, but after just 2 moves, I was able to beat it. And so with 2 gyms and 1 Titan down, we would then conclude the first day. Okay, now pause. If you remember correctly, I said I was going to set rules for myself to make the game a little bit easier, but also a little bit harder. If you remember correctly, I only said things that was going to make the game a little bit harder for me, but I don't have anything that's going to make the game easier for me. And so where does that come in? Well, if I fail a shiny, then I'm allowed to go get one from my Violet save file. And no, this doesn't mean that I can go pick some over-leveled one, because first of all, it's not going to listen, and second of all, that's just cheating. However, what I am allowed to do is go shiny hunt for one, and then find it, and then transport it over to the game. The only rule for that is that it has to stay within level range, and so with 2 gyms down, I'm only allowing myself to get a Pokemon that's level 30 or lower. And so for our first shiny fail, it was off camera, and it was around Zapapico City, trying to shiny hunt a shiny Makuhita from an outbreak. Day 2 is nothing. There was no shiny luck, there was no gyms defeated, there were no Titans fought, and there were no Starfall Street challenged. And so we moved on straight into day 3. Day 3 started off with fighting Orthworm, the lurking Steel Titan. We used Hariyama, so it was no issue for us. I then moved on to shiny hunting a Mareep, which luckily only took around 2 to 3 hours. Oh, there it is! Oh my god, finally! Luckily enough for me, I caught in the only quick ball that I had in my inventory and named it Grumpos after Game Grumps. Our 4th shiny of the run would be Larvitar, as he can be hunted AFK and was really easy for me to get. Oh wow, that was like 3 minutes. Wow. Okay. Luckily enough for me, he only took about 3 minutes to spawn in this cave area, and I named him Baloney Man after Game Grumps as well. Our 5th shiny of the run would also end up being a very easy encounter, as it only took 30 minutes after our Larvitar. It ended up being a shiny Roly-Poly, and all I had to do was pop a level 1 fire type encounter sandwich. Oh, is that a shiny? Oh, it is! The Roly-Poly was an easy catch as it only took 1 Great Ball, and we ended up nicknaming it Gunna-Pre, also from the Game Grumps. We then moved on to the Electric type gym, and it was really easy as we just spammed Hariyama's moves. And with that was another gym down. After beating this gym, we had 2 of our Pokemon evolved, with Flaffy evolving into Ampharos and Roly-Poly evolving into Carkol. We then moved on to the Fire type Starfall, which was very easily beat with only Ground type moves. And then for the last bit of day 3, we ended off with Bombirdier, the Open Sky Titan, who posed no issue for us due to our Ampharos and was least challenging of all 5 Titans. After a few attempts, I used a Squawkabilly with an X attack and managed to easily take him out. During its second phase, it managed to knock out my Squawkabilly, but luckily enough for us, Arven had a Scavalin, which managed to knock it out after just a few attempts. I then moved on to the normal type gym, which was very easy to beat with Hariyama's fighting type moves. Our Hariyama ended up being knocked out by Staraptor, but luckily enough for us, our Squawkabilly ended up outspeeding the Staraptor, beating it. I then moved on to hunting the final shiny of the run, which would end up being either a Dino, a Gibble, or a Snorunt. After about 5 hours of hunting, I finally found the 6th member to our team.
Oh wait, is that it? Oh my god, it's been like 5 hours. Jesus, man, finally.
We ended up catching the Snorunt in a nest ball and named it after somebody that makes amazing Pokemon quizzes. And I believe that in honor of that person, I feel obligated to watch through the entire evolution. After evolving our Snorunt, we moved on to the Dark type Starfield Street. This one was also very easy as I didn't realize I was overleveled at the time. We then moved on to the Poison type Starfield Street, who was very easy to beat after learning all the Pokemon that she threw out. We then moved on to the gym of one of my favorite characters, Old Man Kofu, and ended up beating his Carbonable fairly easily due to our Electric type. We then moved on to somebody that has a very familiar face and then took on the Ghost type gym. Other than the fact for a Houndstone that was able to tear through some of my team members, this gym was also fairly easy just like the rest. I then moved on to the Ice type gym. The only issue I had was a Beartic that was able to tear through some of my team members, but luckily enough, Hariyama was able to take it down along with a few other Pokemon before getting knocked out. Then I had my Squawkabilly outspeed the Altaria and ended up taking it down, making for another gym badge. We then moved on to the final Titan, Dondozo, the False Dragon Titan. The first phase of Dondozo was just as easy as the rest of the Titans due to our Ampharos. Making it to its second phase, it was almost just as easy as before due to the fact that we had Arven on our side. During the third phase, we had a few issues as it took out our Ampharos, but luckily enough for us, we pulled out Frostlass and managed to win, making this the first of the 3 routes completed with all the Titans beat and Arven's dog fully healed. Day 5, we started off with our last gym, and it was pretty easy for the most part, but it kind of went downhill near the end. But luckily enough, we managed to beat it in one swift go. Next, I moved on to the Starfall Street Fighting type leader. All I can say about it is that I wish I hunted more type advantages, as we only had one, which was Squawkabilly, who only had 2 flying type moves, and yet somehow I managed to stall out the Starmobile with Sandstorm. We then went and challenged the final Starfall Street leader, the Fairy type leader. And as usual, we managed to knock him out with our Squawkabilly. And this would mark the end of the video. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, well you didn't challenge the Elite Four. Oh, well you didn't go to Area Zero. Oh, well you didn't save Penny from Starfall Street. Trust me, I know. This video is taking me so long that I don't have the energy left in me right now. I'm gonna need to take a break from the game for a little bit, and then I will come straight back to this and I will finish up the rest of it. And I'm saying that because of the fact that there's no way I could have missed this face. But again, I'm just going to take a break while I can from this game, but while I'm here, I do just want to say thank you to the Game Grumps for their content, keeping me sane throughout this whole challenge, because if it wasn't for the videos that they had, I probably wouldn't have even been able to finish this challenge. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you turn on notifications so you know whenever I post and whenever I go live. And with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.